Jack Snack. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Chapter 8. Inspirational. Have you ever had the experience of seeing a new world? It could take the form of learning to scuba dive, visiting Peru, listening to your intuition for the first time, or learning physics. Inspiring someone is the act of introducing them to a new world. I have found that all around me, there are people needing inspiration. People are asking me to show them a new world. Their requests take different forms. For example, a receptionist may confide in me that her daughter wants to go to college. I may say to her that the girl needs to meet with her high school counselor, as well as with a college financial aid counselor. For me, this knowledge is part of my world. For her, this advice gives her the way to move forward toward a new future. The next step may be a mystery to someone in your life, and you could be the person who holds the key. I'm not offering unsolicited advice. I recommend generously offering what you have to those who ask for help. Going within the world of mathematics. I knew I needed help, and I wasn't sure where I would find it. When I turned 17, I began to take advanced level courses in high school. I was under a lot of pressure to compete for entrance into a good college. Until then, I had been a straight A student, but now my consecutive string of A grades was being challenged as I found myself in over my head. Due to the complexity of the material, my parents couldn't really assist me. Our next door neighbor, growing up, Steve, or Dr. Steve Carafis, worked at Amoco Oil Company, now British Petroleum, or BP. He had 3 young boys at the time. I asked Steve for help with my math and science homework. His response was to clear the table after supper 2 or 3 nights a week and spend hours with me, helping me to complete my homework for over a year. I am forever grateful to Steve, not only for enabling me to maintain my A average and gain admittance to the University of Illinois, but also for opening up to me the world of mathematics. He inspired me to give freely to others with no expectation of payback. Today, what a great day it is when you can do a favor for someone with little or no hope of a payback. Reaching out, speak for yourself. One day I got a call from a young man named Ray Hollister. Ray had a wife and 4 children at the time. He was changing careers and wanted to be a professional speaker. Ray had developed a patented system to aid students in studying for tests, and he wanted to travel around the country sharing this method. The problem was he didn't know a thing about the speaking industry. I invited Ray to my house in the summer of '92. Ray was inspired by where we live, and he had a hard time believing that he too could someday own a nice home. Remembering the inspiration I had received from Dr. Carafis, I began to listen to Ray's presentations and critique them several times a week. I encouraged him and shared all of the knowledge that I had amassed about the speaking industry. I worked to help him find a job where he could gain experience speaking. I let him know that he could become successful beyond his wildest imagination if that was his goal and focus. Ultimately, Ray moved to the Pacific Northwest, where he did experience success with his career. A decade passed without any contact between us. Then, one day, I Googled my own name just out of curiosity. Ray Hollister's name showed up in a magazine interview saying that the #1 person who had inspired him was Jack Warkenthien. Wow! The next step. You know what you have to offer in your business, your mastermind group, or other professional organizations. Begin to watch for people whom you might mentor to be of service. They are out there looking for you. You have the experience and the knowledge to guide them toward their goals and to inspire them. Remember, you are developing points of common interest with everyone that you meet. Be open to the possibility that one of these people may need you as a mentor or guide. Make yourself available. Be curious. Be patient. And see what happens. Building blocks to successful sales. The ability to inspire others cannot be overrated. Inspiration is the heart and soul of commerce. Without it, we'd all be walking a treadmill devoid of possibilities and positive changes. Even if you sell asbestos cleanup services, you must still inspire your customers enough that they will willingly offer you referrals. If you're like many other enterprises, up to 80% of your business may be sourced from referrals. If you're in sales, I'm sure you've heard this before, blah, blah, blah. Let me put it a different way. When you inspire your clients, they are inspired to talk about you to their friends easily and frequently. You can inspire a client simply by being a good listener. Train yourself to listen at least 75% of the time and limit your talking to only 25%. Keep your eyes focused on them. Really listen and then repeat back what you heard. Keep your mind moving toward long-term solutions. Encourage your client to open up about past mistakes, vendors, and goals with curious, genuine questions. I can't stress listening enough, not only in sales, but also in every relationship in your life, even if it's your relationship with the guy at the Starbucks counter. Practice asking questions and then shutting up. You may wake up in 6 months' time to discover that you have quadrupled your friends, inspired your significant other, and elicited confidence from your children. Did I leave something out? Oh yeah, increase your sales. Few things inspire people more than being really listened to. Excellent service goes a long way. These days, many business people are from that group known as Generation X. They were born between 1964 and 1971, and they have a particular set of characteristics, not the least of which is the desire to have everything done accurately and quickly. All customers appreciate immediate response and accurate information, but this group demands it. Use the internet to your advantage. The same goes for phone calls. Double check the information that you give out. If mortgage rates are hovering around 4% today, that doesn't mean that's where they will be tomorrow morning. Check and check again. Use the internet as a convenient library and research assistant. A tangible thank you for your business often minimizes buyer's remorse. Since buyer's remorse usually occurs on the first day that they receive your product, make sure that you accompany a delivery with a gift and a personal thank you by phone and in writing. Some people like to send cards and plants. These are good ideas. Also, consider finding out up front what their favorite restaurant, candy, wine, etc. is. A gift that is so personal makes an impression and continues to make an impression throughout the life of your relationship. One salesperson I know noticed that the client had a very busy staff. The sales pro found the restaurant where the staff liked to congregate nearby and purchased a gift certificate for drinks and appetizers. Talk about a splash! The client enjoyed the gift and really appreciated the gesture towards her staff. This was a great first step towards a long relationship. I frequently share my 4 laws of referability. Do you want people to crusade on your behalf? Are you interested in referrals? Then I suggest you follow the 4 suggestions below. 1. Do what you say you're going to do. Did you say that you would send a report by next week? Don't do it the week after that. Deliver on your promise. I wouldn't trust someone who said one thing and did another. The slightest inconsistency on your part in this area spells disaster. Did you say that the fixed price was X dollars and then you added on a 20% fee? Kiss that relationship goodbye. You would have been better off to simply give them a higher price or express in writing that the price is subject to change without notice. Juan L. Teague, a dear friend and coach to many professional speakers, including me, has a mantra. Tell the truth quicker and faster. Telling the truth means stating the details, and it means actually doing what you said you were going to do, within the confines of your commitment. 2. Finish what you start. Nothing feels better to a client than knowing that you are going to do what you say you are going to do, completely. The first thing out of their mouth when referring you to someone else will be, "Jack always makes sure that I am completely satisfied and everything is finished. And he's fast and accurate too." If you and a client meet and discuss ideas, make sure that each idea is explored thoroughly. Do your research and do your follow-up with him or her. Just because it wasn't your idea, or it may occur 6 months from now, is no reason not to complete the job of marking out goals and exploring them. When you open a relationship with a client and they purchase your product or service, be sure to continue to maintain the relationship. I'll talk more about this in the next chapter. Installing a security system but not working with the technicians to iron out the kinks is doing the job halfway. Your job is to make your client happy. 3, be on time. In my opinion, being on time means 5 minutes early, not 15 minutes early. Being that early shows you lack time management. Being on time also means not being 5 minutes late. Late is late. You and I both know that time is money. We also know that trust is the fulcrum of relationships. When you disregard these two principles by not showing up when you said you were going to show up, you are losing money and degrading relationship. I had a physician who made me wait 10 minutes or more for every appointment. I learned more about how I often glossed over the actions of others that felt disrespectful to me. I also realized that I was losing precious time sitting in the reception area. As this realization dawned on me, I asked my doctor why each time we were to meet, I had to wait for at least 20 minutes. We both learned from that experience, and as long as I used that physician, he assured me that I'd have minimal waiting times. You may think that's it's strange for a professional to have to be reminded of such a simple idea, but look at yourself. You are, no doubt, a competent individual who excels at what you do. Yet, holding to all the strings and strands of the day and the relationships in that day can sometimes lead to slippage. Everyone finds that they can't be on time 100% of the time. I am talking about the person who is chronically unaccountable to themselves and to those people who trust them. 4, say please and thank you. This simple request works on and off the business field. Imagine the power of preceding every request with a please and following every favor with thank you. It's simple, but not easy. How few people we meet in the course of our daily routine actually remember to express gratitude on some level. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because acknowledgement cannot be minimized or trivialized. Ever. How do we acknowledge? The simplest words, such as please and thank you, have the greatest effect, especially if they are spoken sincerely and often. Sometimes we say thank you with a note as well. People like to be treated as if they are important to you, and when you show them respect and kindness in your manner and speech, they respond with openness.